Through, he's brought down. It is a penalty to Nigeria. Obanya, we were talking about him, and here he seems to have delivered the killer punch. By that penalty, he has won for Nigeria. If only the Eagles are able to convert.
Well, really, on a slow-mo, we have to look at it as the Malawians argued.
And the Nigerians must count themselves very lucky, because Victor Moses might well succeed in putting that away, and it will be a game, set and match as far as this encounter is concerned as a contest. It is Victor Moses against Sweeney, and Victor Moses goes, he puts it easily and fully. Oh, how audacious that.
Well, that was a part of the fantastic part of the weekend, in spite of all that seems to be going on in the politics. Nigeria defeating Malawi by 2-0, especially after all the build-up. Well, just a minute, Nnamdi Obanya joins me this morning. He's a sports journalist. Thank you for coming on today, by the way.
Good to be here.
You know, in spite of all that build-up, the bad blood, the negotiations, horse trading that went on before this match between Keshi and Saintfield, fantastic victory.
It was, and you mentioned the build-up to the match. There was a lot of hostility. The final quote from Saintfield, if I remember correctly, was, "We are 270 minutes away from the World Cup." They had first tried claiming that there were security threats in Calabar, despite it being a place that has the Obudu Mountain race in the same state, the Calabar Carnival. They still cited security fears. That went aside. Then came Keshi's reply that he's a white dude, he wouldn't know what he's saying. And then the racism charge against Keshi, which is currently underway, all in the build-up to this same match. There were even fears. There were reports I got, haven't confirmed them yet, but some players, including Nnamdi Ojuamadi, who were the last to arrive at Calabar, actually got held up by the bad weather.
Wow.
2 days to the match, it was really bad, and planes were making multiple attempts to land in Calabar. But on that morning, I was privileged enough to speak to the media officer, Ben Ayala, and the team psychologist, Dr. Okosu, and they assured me that contrary to what was outside, the mind games, the tactics, the pressure, that there was nothing of the sort in the Super Eagles camp, that they were all very relaxed. I even got photographs to I got photographs sent to show how everybody was happy on a morning stroll.
Oh.
But when the match started, it looked like Malawi's game plan was easy: contain the Eagles, frustrate them. I mean, this is a team that had struggled to score before the 80th minute throughout the qualifiers, and it looked like they were going to try and put Nigeria under pressure, try and see if they could do what the likes of Kenya had done, try and sneak one in, force them to try and get a draw, and if possible, hold them out. It didn't go that well. They let their guard down first half injury time, and Emenike was there to pounce. In the second half, the penalty, I guess the referee was waiting to play an advantage. There was an earlier foul outside the box, but Ojuamadi shrugged it off, broke into the 18, and I guess the referee had been waiting to give the foul. And
that was a great build-up.
Yeah, when he saw him go down again, he gave it all credit to Mikel Obi for everything that happened in that match. He pulled the strings in the middle. It was a glimpse of what we had expected from Mikel for a long time. He and Onazi seem to have that.
Thankfully, he's fresh. He's not played so many games for Chelsea.
Yes, so to Nigeria's benefits. Nigeria's benefits. He was playing more offensively, meaning he was picking up passes, setting up plays. He was pulling strings here and there, getting people moving. And I think the fact that we had Moses and Ojuamadi on the pitch gave us a very mobile look. That very annoyingly static look Nigeria has. This was where he first went. There was the first attempt to pull him down. He ran on, came in, and then got brought down. The referee had been following, waiting to give, almost like.
And there was clear contact.
There was contact. It's a penalty. You can't deny it, no matter what you want to say. The truth is, there's no way two players can go in on a striker like that and think they will get away with it. It was a bit too blatant. Maybe if he had leaned in on him slightly or something, it could have been questionable. But all credit to Nigeria. Once they were 2-0 up, rather than play to the gallery, they contained the ball and still went after the Malawians. But not uncharacteristically, Ahmed Musa managed to squander chances again. Even Emenike was guilty of missing an open net from less than 5 yards out. But at that point,
should have been like over 2, 3, 4.
About 4. 4 is a modest estimate.
But we need to be able to take some of these chances.
I was going to come there. The truth is, when you meet more ruthless sides than Nigeria, you will and then Malawi, sorry, you have to take your chances. Now we're getting to a stage where we're in the final 10 teams, and if the season is done by ranking, it means that maybe Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, Nigeria, Cape Verde, because Mali, who's in the top, Nigeria, because Mali who's in the top 5 didn't qualify, it means Cape Verde automatically is one of the top 5 seeded teams that qualify for the World Cup. So that means that you have the likes of Egypt, Burkina Faso, all still
Those
waiting.
are the teams we are likely to face.
We're likely to, if they do it by seeding, if it's done by seeding. I don't know if it will be just a random draw or if we'll have 2 pots, top 5 in one seed, in one top 5 seeds in one pot, bottom 5 seeds in another pot. If we have it like that, then yes, the likes of Egypt and Burkina Faso become possible opponents.
How about Cameroon?
And Cameroon as well. Cameroon also is an possible opponent because they're not in the top 5 in Africa. At least from these qualifiers, the top 5 ranked teams.
So the job is not done.
The job is far from done. In fact,
Oh,
it's very, very far from done. But the truth is, it's all down to concentration. Ahead of the Burkina Faso friendly, Mikel Obia and
Are we still going to play?
Yeah, but Mikel and Victor Moses have been excused. That's the latest news I'm getting, that they've been excused. I just thought it's a bit too soon after a World Cup qualifier, but the truth
Do we
is,
need that friendly? I mean, against
there are 2 international days, the weekend and Tuesday.
Okay, so at least.
So we might as well make maximum use of it. And Burkina Faso did what I would call a Houdini act, and were one of the surprise qualifiers on the final day. So it's a team you want to measure yourself against.
So shouldn't we have tried a European side, for instance, in that window?
The problem is, which quality European side are you going to get at this time in a friendly? The truth is, all those who are involved in World Cup qualifiers right now wouldn't want to release their top side against you. So if you got any European friendly, you'll probably get a B side. They want to test their B side going into the final 2-3 games of World Cup qualifications.
If we had the foresight, could we not have gotten Brazil? They're on tour, a world tour.
That again, I'm sorry, I don't want to sound like I'm reciting poetry, but I always talk of the NFF's marketing. You know, a team is hosting the World Cup. It means they will not play qualifiers. It means they're going to go on tour. It means they're going to play a series of friendlies. Brazil is well marketed. You have sports brands, beverage brands, everybody hooking up to it. It's around the world. I mean, even Australia gets to play them. And we, Nigeria, are just sitting down, doing nothing. You know, and they are looking at a way to play every possible team in every possible confederation in preparation for the World Cup. And it's a money spinner for them. We could have had our share of it if we had a proper marketing structure in place. This is not, it's not new. Just everybody knows that they are going to do that. And I think just after winning the Cup of Nations, we have a good chance of actually being approved as a possible opponent to face Brazil.
Okay, tell us about this one. What is this that we hear about basketball? Which is not being paid.
It's not fully confirmed, but at the last AfroBasket tournament, the FIBA AfroBasket tournament, Nigeria had a good run of games, first 4 games, then came out of their group, defeated Cape Verde, and suddenly defeated Central African Republic, then suddenly lost to Senegal by a point. Now, it's now being said that after those first 4 games, they weren't paid for a single match. Now, I don't know what the payment structure is. I don't know if it's an accumulation that comes after the tournament. I don't know if there's an allowance that has to be given from that payment during the tournament. I don't know what the payment structure is. But for that complaint to be made, it means that as a when due, payment wasn't made. And this is something we see in all our different sports. And I think it's a bit embarrassing. I mean, this is the same team that just before the tournament, Tijani Umar went on and on about how happy he was. We were going to do the tour in the US. Everything was in place. They played against Venezuela. They had good warm-up games. New people were brought in. Yes, injuries hit them just before the tournament. But after all this build-up and people suddenly having a good faith in our basketball team, we want to bring non-payment of bonuses into basketball.
Which is what they were kicking against in football, that the minister set up a committee about. And now we have it in basketball.
And perhaps you'll set up another committee. It's the only thing we seem to be very good at doing in Nigeria. We are very effective at setting up committees, panels, and think tanks.
Why can't they honor a simple agreement if they signed it?
That's what I don't understand. And it's not an agreement you sign with these players. It's kind of like an agreement of trust, a contract between you and whoever wears the jersey of the national team. So it's not something you can say you didn't know about, because it's a standing contract between you and national team. Meaning, if I tomorrow play for the Tigers, I'm entitled to this. So it doesn't make sense that after 4 games they haven't been paid. I mean, you have all the time to prepare. You have everything in place. You can't say that there is no way you could have raised funds for it, because the truth is, the Minister of Sports has always, everybody's coming out and say, oh, they're no more pushing too much to football. We want to promote other sports. All well and good, but let's see it in other sports.
Yeah.
Let's see the money being spread around. It's funny that there is no proper way we're marketing even our local basketball league. It's very static. The teams have been there, but you don't see anything new. What you have is journalists and pressmen fighting year in, year out to give you relevance by continuously covering it. If you were to ask anybody off the top of their head who is the brightest star in our local league, you can't tell. There's no proper scouting network. We've had people who have just rotated clubs, like our National Football League. You rotate club. So if a new signing has played 2 years in one club and 2 years in another club, and he's now here in his 3rd club, I think to generate money to avoid all these issues has to start from the home base.
Wow.
Promote basketball well, raise money for the federation. The federation's stake in running a proper basketball league will become where it's full of funds to execute things like national assignments. It's as easy as that. It's not rocket science. Every proper league is just a synergy of media partner, corporate sponsor, and association or federation that runs that particular sport. And it's as easy as that. Interesting.
Well, let's go over now to the U.S. Open, and what a matchup that was, the final matchup. Again, interesting build-up for this one. Serena coming up against world number 2, Victoria Azarenka, who had beaten her 3 times in their time matter. But some didn't actually know which way the pendulum was going to swing. At the point in the first match, the first game, first set was 4-all. And then it was closely matched. And, of course, Azarenka has a way of raising her game against the odds. And
it was at that 4-4 was where it got very dicey as well, because Azarenka was having the luck of the calls. She was contesting and challenging every call. And she seemed to be, she was on one challenge left and she was getting it. But Serena, they got to 5-5, pulled herself, got another break, 7-5, lost the next game, but came back to demolish Azarenka in the final game. So she's made history at 31, oldest woman to win the Grand Slam. She keeps breaking records over and over. She doesn't look anywhere near finished. There's still a few more years left in Serena.
We'll have to end there. Thank you for coming on Namdi Obanya Sports Journalist. We're back after this. Join us again.